Studo,
Here.
Steve Leinbach,
Here.
Emily Molden,
Here.
okay. Rachel Freeman,
Here.
Rachel, okay,
Here.
and then myself, we make five, we're a quorum, let's. As far as we're concerned, we stay at five.
Jim Pearl works for one of the.
Okay, I guess, Kim, you wanna take it away?
Sure. Did we have minutes? I think Peter, although Peter's not here, but I think he had sent out minutes a few weeks ago.
I didn't see any,
Don't recall seeing them.
I don't recall seeing them.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like a while ago, whenever our like we've missed a couple meetings in a row. So I think it was quite a while ago, but we can not worry about it right now, since we can just get going.
I think that's the emphasis. I mean, if we want to do the agenda some other, I mean, the minutes some other time, we can.
Yeah.
I think the agenda is to go through the document, right?
Yep. Yeah. Well, so there are a few things on the agenda. First thing is to just discuss the document. We obviously don't want to go through this recommendation by recommendation. We'll be here for another few months. But we want to just talk to you about, any big issues you saw. Then we want to talk about the responsible parties. We need to be reaching out to them and make sure they're okay with being called out, especially before this gets published anywhere or put online as a draft. And then we really need to talk about doing a public meeting, when it would be. We already figured out where, but given the time frame right now, I think we're looking at like August. So wanted to talk about that. Does that all sound right, or is there anything else we should add in there?
I just have one thought. We have all these responsible parties. Or what do we call them responsible parties, or there was another word that was being thrown around?
Stakeholders.
There was some word was beside.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I think we have it as right now responsible parties, and I would suggest that maybe we don't try to identify who the main party is for each of these recommendations until we get comments back from the various responsible parties, because we may find out in that process who really makes sense.
Yes.
Do you understand? Is that clear? In other words, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about who is the main responsible party when we haven't even had gotten any input from any responsible
I have
parties.
kind of a different take on that. I don't know that we should be looking for a lot of input from responsible parties. I think we should be giving it to them as a heads up, but not. looking for
Well,
input, 'cause then we gotta start-
Roads and Right of Way has got a lot of stuff that
Then we're
they
gonna,
could,
then you might as well push this public meeting until November
well, I
at
think that,
that point.
but
It's time to wrap this thing up.
I agree, but I think that, I think the Board of Health and Roads and Right of Way, two organizations I'm pretty familiar with, are gonna have some, are gonna have some input. I mean, I think
So after.
maybe we take the input
So
and
after their input, then that's
We
gotta
put
go
it
back
in.
out to the public, and then it's gotta be
Not necessarily,
done again.
no. We take the public. We do what we're gonna do with the public. And then. We wait for the guys. We don't go back to the public after all the individual stakeholders. Which will, weigh in on that. The public has to say over that.
maybe what we do is we get the input from the public, we get the input from the responsible parties, and we put the thing in, and this is it. Right?
Pretty much.
We're not asking the public for permission, we're just, asking their input, right?
Yeah,
Jeff, what do
we
you
know
think?
the areas you're gonna come back to.
I agree. I mean, I think that. I agree with Linda. It doesn't have to go back to people once you get their input.
Yeah.
And if those parties have
Dave,
input on
I
them,
can't read it.
yes,
And
I think that's a good
Rachel.
approach.
Oh, Rachel's up there.
So we have a quorum, I called the meeting to order. And I'm gonna turn it over to Linda,
Who are we missing?
Peter Brace. We've got Dave Franzuto and Emily and Rachel.
Rachel up there.
That's all we have left.
So you make six.
True.
So, I guess just as you were walking in, Linda, we were talking about, the agenda and essentially, Kim doesn't want us to go through this line by line, obviously.
Oh, you have your areas you want to talk about.
Well, I put them in, and you guys can agree or disagree. I'm not gonna repeat myself. You guys all looked at it. If you didn't, well, I'm sorry. Kim, let me ask you this, Kim, was there anything that I put in that you want to bring up for discussion today?
No, I don't think so. The one thing I just want to note though is I do feel like I sent you guys an older version, which this is my own fault, but an older version of like from just a couple weeks earlier than that, because we had changed the title of responsible and participating parties. And that's not reflected in this one. So I'm looking around and just finding, because we had made those edits, but it's pretty close. And Phil, when I was going through your comments, I didn't see any big issues with them. And, I think that the best way to move through this and not get too hung up on, little things is kind of what Rachel did earlier. She took a look at the draft and emailed me and said, I'd like some more input from fishermen on some of this. And so, if you guys can all take a look at it on your own and just send me emails, we should do this, we should do that. And, we can just keep this as a living document and keep updating it. And then eventually we'll get to the place where we can share it for public review. So everybody will have one last look, go through it.
Hey, Kim,
Yeah.
were you all set? Were you all set with the DITAB issue?
Yeah, thank you. It was Steve that mentioned, do we have an example of dye tabs being used in Massachusetts, or just like a closer example than Avalon? And it seems as though we don't. Is that correct, Dave?
Yeah, I reached out to nobody else is using them.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy.
Well, as I sent you an email a little while ago, it's cumbersome, but it's being done, and with good presence on the water and good record keeping, it's doable. It is cumbersome.
It's absolutely necessary because we're in a contained harbor. We have shellfish going on in the harbor. We got fishing going on in the harbor. And I'm not sure there's another place on the coast of Massachusetts that is that contained with those activities taking place in a contained harbor. So
Well, I was
it's
told,
more important to do it here than anywhere else that I can think of on the coast, except maybe
Well, I was told by very learned scientists over 30 years ago that it's extremely rare to have active shellfish beds in a harbor with this much activity. And I see Jack shaking his head, but people like Dale Levitt and who were brilliant people, who now run science foundations. It is very rare, but it's also why we instituted the federal no discharge zone in 1993. So I think it's worked well, and we've been awarded, many awards for pumping more sewage than any other community, in the Commonwealth. So it works for us. And if DITABs is another tool, then we need to keep doing it.
I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that. We just need to enforce it. We need to be more diligent about it, because a lot of the guys that come in from out of Nantucket specifically for that reason are not used to doing it in any of the other ports of call, more than likely.
Right.
So when they get here, they're going, what the hell is that for? I said, so we got the pamphlet, the education, the enforcement, yada, yada, yada. But that's.
Well, how many other topics have you said those exact words about, Linda? So,
I know, education enforcement. Yeah, that's my soapbox.
okay, thanks.
Do we all agree that this would be the harbor masters under the harbor masters purview?
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's the one that runs the pump out program. She's the one that her people issue the dye tablets. They keep the records. They ensure that the holding tanks of the large vessels are sealed. Yeah, of course it
It
is.
would make sense for her to coordinate with Timmy Reinemo, who does runs the rental
Well,
moorings, you know,
It's
but it should
Steve.
be on her auspices.
right. And Steve, it's in his contract that he has to do that.
Oh, okay. I like it when it's in writing.
Yes, when it's in writing. Kim, so what you're gonna do is send out a whole nother a final draft to us?
Yeah, I just did. My apologies for that. I just sent out in an email. It's very similar to what I had sent out earlier, but it's, you know, just in a bit better shape and has that responsible and participating parties in there. And also just has like a couple cover photos and things like that. So yes, I just sent that. Let me just double check. There are no comments. Yeah, there are no comments in here. I just accepted. Hold on. Oh, wait. Yep. Resolved.
There's no principal parties, you just have responsible parties.
Yeah. So I just sent the new version out to you guys. I apologize. It's very close. It's just the responsible parties are missing in there. So we have that now in the most current draft. So I think what would be the most useful is really for you guys to take a look at that. Just tell me if you have any comments, send me an email, and I can address them if they seem really easy. If it requires conversation with the committee, I'll note that and we can talk about it.
That sounds like a good point.
The only thing that was in here, which I think is like
Which right now?
with your comments, Phil, the only thing that was in here that seemed, you had asked about tire dust, and I know that that's come up a few times with different people as to if we should include it, shouldn't include it, but
No,
but yeah, that was the only comment that I wasn't sure how to handle.
Jeff,
Fire dust is a listed future environmental concern by both the state and federal government, so
well, then,
I think it should stay. I mean, it's just a mention of it, so.
Yeah, it's a small mention. It's not big.
Okay.
and
So-
frankly, on the picture side, I can go down and take a wonderful picture of the anchorage right now, as opposed to this, oh, nobody's here.
We take one from the widow's walk of my house.
Holy Christ. I
I mean,
mean,
if you
this
guys have
picture
any,
looks like there's nothing happening here. That's not the point. The point is you can walk from boat to boat to boat all the way to point one.
yeah, if you guys have any pictures that you would prefer in here, happy. What I was trying to do is have one of Nantucket Harbor and then the next page of Mattocket Harbor, just to make sure everybody feels included.
I'm gonna take Mattocket Harbor the way it looks right now.
What's that?
I can go take one for both of these the way they look right now.
I'll also be out there next week, so I can also go around and take some other photos. But it seems as though just an iPhone photo is working well, or if you have a better camera.
I have a real camera, thank you.
Emily says she has a ton of great aerial shots of the full anchorage.
With
Also
people,
Mattocket.
with people in it, not just an
Okay.
Anchorage.
No, she said full anchorage.
I want everything in it.
Yep.
'Cause
Okay.
it's nuts.
Say, Kim?
Yep.
I'm looking, you sent out something this morning. Now, did you send out a second one this morning?
I just got
I-
this.
I just sent out, it's my apologies. I sent out an outdated version. So I just sent out the correct.
Just got-
Oh, so the one that you sent out about 9 o'clock this morning or whatever was outdated?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
and that's my fault. Yeah. I'm coming back from vacation. Apparently I'm not on my game yet.
Okay.
I'm looking
Just
forward
as a
to it.
favor to me, how much, how many changes were made after I made my comments?
I pretty much, you should still be able to see on the right-handed side. Right now, maybe they're hidden, but I marked the majority of them as resolved. There were only one or two that I replied to.
Okay,
And those it kind of answered a question you had. So you should
Yeah.
still be able to see the comments on the right.
So what was the timestamp on the one that we should be looking at?
1:15.
It's, yeah, June 10th, 2025. That was
One she just sent.
No, the one you just sent this morning, what time?
the one
Not-
that, yeah, the one that I just sent was like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay,
So you want the 1:15 one?
okay, okay, got
So
it.
I'm getting rid of everything else. I'm
Got it.
confused. My Gmail will be very happy.
Okay, great. So so I think that's the best way to kind of move forward here is for you guys to take a look at that. And then also just a reminder, we do have an appendix, which has a ton of information, so much that it is taking a while to clean up. But we'll have an appendix A that just has, you know, all the background information in there, and people can refer to that if they want more details on any of these topics.
And,
But I-
terminology, all that stuff,
What's that?
terminology, things like that.
Yeah, we'll put in acronyms as well. We'll put in, in the back, it's more, you know, it gets into the details of like eelgrass or, you know, the fisheries or it just gets into more detail. Right now we have just a few paragraphs before each topic, which we think is really those, like we're saying, the most important things in that, so that if somebody just reads the beginning, they have as much information as they need to be able to dive into the recommendations. But then we'll have an appendix that if somebody really wants to get more information on some of this, they can get into it. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, I think we have a pretty good draft here, and I think we're getting really close to being able to share it publicly. We just, you know, need to send it to the responsible parties. And so did we ever come to a conclusion on what we're recommending here for the responsible parties? Is it sending the whole draft to them as is and notifying them they're being tagged, or what did we decide on?
We make a
That-
list.
Well, I think I think if there is
Should receive it.
an entity that is listed as a responsible party, they should see this. They
Right.
should at least see that section that has them listed as responsible party
And I think participating parties. should
or
see it.
whatever,
All of them should see it. That's anybody who's in this thing listed.
So when
Should
we,
get a copy.
when we send it out, we should probably give them a
Timeline.
deadline to
Yep,
respond
absolutely.
or not.
Absolutely,
Sort of in a time crunch.
absolutely.
Be an open-ended thing.
I'll
for them
circle
to
back with
Parse over it.
Sheila also. You see Sheila, and
Emily is gonna see Sheila later this week.
yeah, if you can say, impress upon her, she absolutely.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this is gonna fall on her head.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Also in Medicaid, if anything.
I'm not sure how much she has read it at all. I sent it to her a couple times.
Walking from Medicaid for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, so I definitely, yeah, that would be great, Emily, if you could make sure that she is really reading it and let her know that, you know, the harbor master is being mentioned a lot. So it's to her best interest to take a read of it.
Can I ask a quick question? And Kim, you can say that sounds like a logistical impossibility.
Yeah.
Is it possible to send them the whole plan and then send like a little summary sheet for the ones that they are specifically marked down as?
Yeah.
I think that,
That'll make it easier.
as someone who will probably get a copy as a responsible party, I would prefer to get the whole plan, so if I wanted to look at it, I could. But then, if I didn't wanna look at the whole thing, I could know which ones to specifically look at. I think would be the way I would prefer to receive it if I was gonna get it as a responsible party.
Definitely. We can do that.
What is this thing now be responsible and participating? What's the difference and why are we doing that?
We had talked about this, I think, at the last meeting, that, you know, some people may be more actually responsible for moving this forward and getting it done participating meant they maybe are a little more on the side, helping out where they can. We're not actually splitting them up between this is a responsible and this is a participating party. They're all listed. It's just we have the tagline above of responsible and participating parties.
I think the other big distinguishing between responsible and participating. We talked about it. I don't think we can force, I'll pick on the Land and Water Council because Emily's here. I don't think the town can force responsibility onto the Land and Water Council.
They're a private organization.
Is they're a private organization. If they want to participate, I think that is at their choosing, where the town can say roads and right of ways, you have to work on this. Natural resources, you have to work on this because it's a town project. But I don't think we can say, Nantucket Conservation Foundation, you have to work on this.
Yeah, no,
So are we-
participating versus responsible is a entirely different list. We can't just blanket list them all as responsible parties.
Well, when are we doing that segregating between responsible and principal?
We did sort of when we went through it,
But
but
it's not the one I'm looking at, but
it has to have it. We were very clear when we were talking about each one of these sections, which ones were which. That has to remain.
is that in the most recent
We-
draft, Kim?
We did not separate out who is responsible and who is participating. We just put them all in the same list. And I thought at the last meeting, we had decided to keep it at that because it is.
I never thought that. I never discussed, I never wanted that. But that was not my understanding that we weren't separating them into the two lists and putting everybody in as responsible parties. Absolutely not.
No, I mean, not everybody's responsible. It's just, it's responsible and participating, but I don't know what the other committees feel.
I
Commi-
wasn't like,
Sorry, Emily, did you? have a
We didn't hear,
He needs to unmute.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying in that it is confusing. I think it also is confusing to split them up unless, you guys know these entities better than I do. And so you might be able to look at this and just be like, responsible, participating. And, we're happy to make those changes if you think that's an easy thing to do. Unfortunately, I don't think that I can kind of look at it and take a guess, but I'm not sure I'll be
I'd
able.
be happy.
I think Jeff can do that.
I'll
with
take
you.
care of that, Kim.
He'll take
Okay,
care of it.
Thank
He
you.
knows Not what.
So you're gonna distinguish between responsible and participating before we send it to,
Well, I think we still send it to whether they're responsible or participating, but I can get that correction made so they can see where they would fit.
Yeah.
But I think they
They
should,
want their hair to get on
they're
fire.
both would get it to make comments on.
Yeah.
okay.
And then we should define what we mean by that in that same email that will go to them.
Yeah,
If everyone's comfortable with that, I mean, I can probably get that done for Kim before the end of the week.
very happy for you to do.
That would be great. In the meantime, I should be able to still work on just pulling out those, so when we're sending it to them, they know which recommendation they're under. I should still be able to pull that out and then I can change that once I get your comments, Jeff.
Yeah, or if you want, I can organize it in that way. That helps.
It
I don't, we
seems
can talk about it offline.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
not gonna solve that right now, between the two of you, that's good.
Yeah, then hopefully next week we can send out, and we should also, I guess, I don't know if it's now, maybe, or if we want to talk later, Jeff, about the best way to send it out to the responsible and participating parties.
Email.
Yeah, we'll probably have to email, my guess is given the size, we'll have to email it to some sort of like file share.
Yep.
Or link. You and I can solve that.
Okay.
Between the two of us.
Sounds good. Okay, great. Are we all good with that topic?
Do we know when we're gonna send these out? Do we need to set a date for when they're gonna go out and another date for when a deadline date for them to respond at this point, or is that premature right now?
I think, assuming that we can make those edits and group the parties, if we're saying by the end of the week potentially, then we could send it out let's see, next week,
The
you know,
report.
around the 14th, 15th, maybe the 15th, just to give us a day to kind of sort it out. And then what do you think about giving them a week to review?
I'd say probably give them 2 weeks, I would say.
I would think so.
Because this time of
is
year,
Crazy time,
Sheila's
crazy time.
so jammed up, you know. There was an emergency at Jetty's Beach, what was it, yesterday or something?
Well, they're having
With
some
that
issues. because of
6-year-old
the heat.
girl that went missing and, which
At the
was-
jetties?
Yeah, which was fine, but they called out everybody on it. So I mean, I think a couple weeks for people this time of year is not too
Right,
much time,
yeah, because clearly we're gonna have to have this meeting in August and not in July.
right? Probably toward the end of August, I would think.
Not too far, because a lot of people's kids go back to school and they get out of here in the middle of August.
Well, it's gonna be when it's gonna be and
Okay, that works. And in the meantime, we can just keep moving forward with the planning of the meeting.
Mhm.
now, Jack, do we need to get an extension if we're running past that July, or isn't there some kind of deadline in August or something that we need to get extended?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we did that. We did just file for an extension, so we're good on that front.
Because we talked about that at the last meeting, and we are
That is
definitely gonna have to do that.
Yep. It was done in a very quick manner. It was,
The fastest thing I've ever seen CZN process.
yeah,
Really?
right. It was easy.
I said that without Steve on the call.
Well, it's a compliment to him because he did it fast.
Let's say so, let's say we send the thing out 14th, we get 2 weeks back from them, that's the 28th of
Well,
July.
I think if we send it out the 14th, why don't we just say we need it back by August 1st, because it's an easy date to remember.
Yeah,
That's a Friday.
Yeah,
Even better.
Yep,
that gives them 3 weeks,
provided we get out of here from the 14th.
right?
Oh, we're getting it out of here.
Yeah, nah.
It might, the only thing is it might delay us posting it online if we wanted to get that posted before the public meeting, as a draft.
I mean,
Why don't we say the 25th? That's a Friday. That's almost 2 weeks. That's like 12 days.
so. I mean, again, selfishly, I only asked kind of for the 31st. I also know the town's department's capital requests are due the middle of July.
Mhm.
And that will probably get prioritized over this by a lot of the people involved with responsible party. So I
Yeah.
think the extra time would probably get better comments for
Mhm.
not a lot of loss.
Right.
I also, just for food for thought for the group, even without the comments from responsible parties, is there anything in here that if the public saw it would be problematic? I don't see any harm in posting it and then,
Have the two things going on
yeah,
simultaneously.
have them run simultaneously and then
I think
if
that's
you gotta
fine.
make adjustments, you can make
Yeah.
adjustments.
Right, and then it all
Yeah.
gets folded into the final.
yeah,
And then there
think
were
that's
some,
I think that's a good idea.
we're looking at a public meeting somewhere the week of the 11th or the 18th.
Right.
I hesitate to wait too long again because a lot of people leave because the kids go back to school.
I mean. Technically, it's a public document now, so. if Someone really wanted to file a Freedom of Information Act request,
They could knock themselves out.
they could certainly get it.
So I think previously we had said a Thursday was a good day to do a meeting because of conflicts.
Concom's on Thursdays. It depends on what Thursdays.
Okay,
Concom's on what, the 7th and the 21st of August?
I can tell you.
14th of August then?
That's ZBA, so we can't get the room.
Or you can't kick them out? Wednesday select board, or are they every other week in the summer?
I asked that the other day, and but right now they're not.
Okay,
Mm,
Friday's gonna be a tough Friday
Yeah,
night meeting.
No, Fridays-
Yeah, good.
The 11th.
Fridays never work.
Tuesday's a conflict
It's
too,
Tuesday.
right?
Monday, the 11th is planning board. If we're not meeting at the Concom on the 14th of August, that looks like it's the best date, but that is also ZBA as far as I know.
There is no Concom on the 14th of August.
Yeah, we gotta watch out for ZBA. We'd have to do this later in the day, obviously,
Yeah,
Like
we're
5
talking
o'clock?
about 5 o'clock.
5
at the-
o'clock, the
at the
ZBA should
meeting-
be out of there by
the
then.
Meeting room.
There's only one case on this week, which is mine, for a client, so it's very slow during the summer. So why don't we target the 14th of August? That sound reasonable?
Yeah, I'll book it.
Yep, that works for me.
That be the public meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then we decided that we weren't gonna do tables or something, we were just gonna have the microphones set up there and people could come up
Come
to
on.
the microphone and make their comments.
yeah,
Then we
and
can
have a copy of
record
it at the
it,
meeting,
and they have the technology to record all that there,
Yeah.
right?
and have the copy at the meeting.
Right.
We were gonna provide a hybrid option as well.
Yep,
Yeah, I think,
absolutely.
well, someone's there who knows how to run the tech.
Well, it's not working so well with the new website.
So the only meetings on the calendar for the 14th already are capital program, but that's at 2, and
Yeah.
that's here. Zoning's at 1.
Yeah.
Water commissioners is at 9 in the morning. And the select board have county commissioners at the town building at 9 AM, so it's wide open.
So 5 o'clock,
5 o'clock, I think.
people should be hopefully off the water by then, be able to come in.
Charter guys won't be, but
We'll hear from him.
in the
I
singular
have
charter
to- I
guy,
have to
I
send
think I
him
know who
the-
you're
to
speaking
Send it to
of.
him.
I think I know who you're speaking of.
Well, I think that's why if we get it posted publicly,
Then I can let him know.
that can all go on and stuff can come in,
Right.
and we can have it in advance.
Mhm.
But I
Okay,
can get everything booked for the.
I can let him know either way.
So what is the date that we have that we're gonna
Like
be
what?
getting this to the responsible parties? In whatever form we're able to get it in by that time.
I think,
He's doing, but
July 14.
I think we're shooting for July 14th, so that's a
Okay.
week from today.
And I think, you know, whatever we have as of July 14th, they get, right?
I don't think that any changes we make today or so, or at any point are gonna be so earth shattering that it's gonna. So strongly affect what one of them may have to say about the stuff that's in there at this point.
What other guys besides Tom Wesco, Bobby DeCosta?
There's Carl. Borgerson,
Carl.
he's, and,
who?
Jay,
That's-
Jay Star, they're two big guys over on the town dock.
Carl who?
Carl.
Boyce.
Boyce,
BOIS.
he runs Topspin.
He's Sarah Trainer, Boyce's husband from Lenore.
Sarah from who runs Linda Loring's husband.
Oh. I never heard of him.
Sorry.
Shearwater, maybe?
There is no more Shearwater.
Shearwater's done.
Shearwater's gone.
There's Brian Borgerson.
Brian Borgerson is absolute. Josh Eldridge is Monomoy.
Yeah, honestly, if you get it to one of them, they'll all
Yeah.
get it pretty fast.
I mean, I'm on that dock, my boat's on that dock, I see
Just
those
hand
guys
them
every
copy.
single day. so,
Hand them the copy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
if
we
there's
can
any-
make
if there's
copies,
any printed
because they're not
copies,
gonna
I-
look at it online.
If you wanna print copies and give them to me, I'll like put them one.
Get 'em
each-
all the way
each
down.
guy's place and.
Yeah.
This
the
would be
best
good
thing.
for roads and right away, because they meet that Wednesday.
And then is it possible, Kim, to have some kind of flyer for the public meeting, like a one-page thing? Cause I talked to the guys at the yacht club and the anglers club that we can put them up on the bulletin boards. We can just do a one-page flyer to
Yep.
give to these
So
people.
I think, Kim, if it's easier, why don't, I'll get everything booked for that 14th at 5 and get that
Yep.
confirmed to you. And then you guys can
I
work your
could,
magic like we did with the original one with some sort of poster
Yeah.
and epic.
So
Yeah.
We can get that
Corey
through
Gamble,
Florencia,
Fish
and then-
Fisher Outfitters, he's out of.
Get it out there,
Oregon, And,
Yep.
and-
You gotta give it to Medical, no.
yeah, and, Jeff,
Yeah, and the Board of Health is the 17th, the third Thursday.
is,
So that would be good. At least they will have it.
What's the board of health?
It's the third Thursday of the month, which is, I think, the 17th.
Mm-mm.
Or is it not?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Or maybe it's the following.
that all sounds good. One other thing I just wanted to ask, not saying we need this, since we are having a hybrid option, but do you think it would be useful in September or something to have just a fully Zoom option?
well,
No,
Sounds good to me.
If we're in the public safety
Hybrid.
city, it'll be a hybrid meeting,
hybrid in that building.
so.
yeah, I think
If
one.
we
and
were
done- I
someplace
think-
else, it's more difficult.
I like the expression one and done.
One and done.
Sounds great to me. Great.
I'd like to send to the select board.
Sorry,
Okay.
can I jump in and just ask one other question? Sorry, I'm off camera today, but what about gathering input? Do we want to provide, as we share this out, a contact or for other towns, we've been using like a form that people can use to fill in their feedback and provide it electronically. Just thinking as the announcement comes back, who are they contacting or how are they giving input if they can't make the meeting or want to do that separately?
That's a Jeff question.
Hey, Kim.
Yeah,
Could we repurpose the Google form that we used for the eelgrass plan for this?
yeah, I mean, we could do basically the same thing.
So we just we were working on the eelgrass management plan, which is kind of an internal document. We had just a Google form that when people were there, they could click on it and then write whatever they want, and then it just got distributed to the people that were on there. So that's the easiest way to get online comments.
It's great for me.
Yeah.
Fine.
Sure.
You click the link, you fill in the box, you hit send, and you're done. It's that simple, and then the computer sends it to where it needs to go.
Great for me.
yep.
It's the
Which
way
is
of- Yeah.
Yeah, it's much easier because getting like a million emails and not knowing what's what is confusing.
Can you just, sorry to be dense, can you just refresh my memory? Once we have this public meeting, we have all this stuff and we coalesce it all together, the next steps after that is that we have the final draft. Does that have to be posted for a certain amount of time before we can present it to the select board?
I always forget the timeline. Jack, do you have?
No, I don't think there's any timeline for that, what you just said. You know, you've had the public meeting, you'd make the adjustments that you want to make and then submit it.
Quote, final draft, and then
Yeah,
it just depends on how long it takes for them to get it on the agenda for themselves.
Right.
Yeah, Steve, there is a formal timeline associated with the state review process that builds in a 30-day public comment period. So after the town approves it, there's a more formal, consultation period and public review period.
But the town approving it is the select board approving it, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Not us approving the final draft.
No,
Well, we'll want you guys to sign off on the final draft before it's shared with the select board. So I
Right.
don't know if it's an official vote, but we would never share something with the select board that you guys hadn't, given the okay to.
yep. Okay, just in terms of the public draft that we are gonna post, so we don't have to wait for the responsible and participating parties to review. So then basically we're kind of fair game as soon as I'm just asking, we're kind of fair game. Once we get through the appendix and make changes and you guys take a look, we would be fair game to post soon. Does that sound right to you guys?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Oh, and also if you could send me new pictures. I mean, I guess it's not critical to get those before we post it, but as soon as you can, send me any pictures.
Yeah. I'd say maybe if we wanted to, Kim, we could always mark up like the public portal and draft something that says photos may be subject to change or maybe updated.
Yeah.
It's not substantive to the document per se, so.
Okay, great. Thank you, Emily.
I bet we have some too in our Rolodex of files, NRD.
the Rolodex.
Great.
Still old enough. I
Some
can
of us
say.
still have card.
I have one. Some of them don't go bad.
Okay. I think that was all I had on the agenda. Do you guys have anything else?
No.
Anything else, Kristen or Jack, that I'm missing?
Just,
So when are we
Just a-
meeting?
I'm sorry, just a thought on the timeline, just to clarify. So if the draft is going out next Monday, when do you want all committee comments by, like Wednesday? Just so you have time to incorporate anything that needs to be incorporated.
So you meaning the draft that I just sent out, Kristen?
Exactly. You were requesting that everybody take one last look and give you any feedback, right?
Yep.
So if that's the case, when do you need that by in order to make sure that you can incorporate that and get this out on the 14th?
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if you guys could look at it. Was it feasible to take a look at it by the 9th? So it's just a couple days away, so. I'm not sure there are gonna be big changes because we've really talked through all of this. But
Yeah, and I don't think it precludes any like future adjustments if someone catches something.
Right.
yeah, no, that we, take a look at it and make sure you're just okay with it going out as is to the responsible parties, and then you can keep taking a look at it and let me know any other comments you have. July 9th. Okay.
When do we want to meet again?
We wanna meet in
I'll
2
serve.
weeks on the 21st.
Oh,
Or
yes.
we could- Or we can push it, I mean, if people want, we could push it to that first week in August,
No.
and then that would be before the public meeting date.
What will we be discussing at the next meeting while we're waiting for input from other people?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, we've already talked through the public meeting unless, the only thing that could change there is if there's a date change, which we could discuss just through email. Otherwise, I don't see a need to meet on the 21st.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah,
guys?
because it's in the hands of the
Other people,
participating and
the people.
responsible parties, waiting to hear
Yeah.
from them, so.
So you think August 4th,
Yeah, I would think so.
we can distill what we got from people?
The 4th or the 11th.
11th is planning board.
Alright, then I would say 8/4. And if those involved could obligate themselves to.
To show up?
As long as
Yep.
my boss.
That's
my
1
boss
o'clock.
go Fishing.
8/4, and then also we'll have gotten any feedback from the responsible and participating parties by then too, if we have anything we need to discuss on that front.
Log on to your phone.
I'll just say I'm here.
So 1 o'clock on the 4th, is
I could do that.
that right? 1 o'clock on the 4th?
Yep, same time.
Yep, I can send out a calendar invite now.
Channel.
You're right, I could log in and just say I'm present, and
Yeah.
put my phone down at the helm and.
Great.
But if you like hear a vote,
Do it. Then do. If we get a really big fish on, I could, you guys can watch it.
I think we made good progress today.
Me too. Glad we had the meeting, guys. Good work rallying, and Jeff, thank you for rallying everyone.
From,
When I can make it.
no, me too.
So I think we have a good timeline here, and I think we're really actually wrapping this up, which is good news. I shouldn't say that. I'm jinxing us. Forget it.
We're not even close to being done, Kim. Quit lying.
Yeah, we're not even close. I'll just stop right. I'm an optimist for the most part, so. Okay, well, thank you, everyone.
So we
Okay.
motion to close the meeting.
Somebody make a motion.
So moved.
Second.
20:48. Okay, Phil. Steve, all those in favor? Steve, Phil,
Aye.
Rachel? Aye. Emily,
Okay.
Dave,
Aye.
it's all that's up there, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
Great.
thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Guys.
Bye.